Welcome to Vlogmas. Today we're cooking. I decided that I wanted to make my favorite dish that I like to eat out. So every week I get a bonus meal, and my bonus meal of choice is always, what is it, guys?
Quesabirria tacos.
Quesabirria tacos. Those are my favorite. I love them, but they're pricey. They're very pricey. I tried to make them once before and I didn't like it. We use cinnamon. I don't know. It was just weird. So we're going. Yeah, we're going to remake them today, and we're going to make them together. Now, it's going to take a little bit, but I want to tell you guys this. You can eat these as tacos. You can eat these as a soup. You can also make them as like a ramen, like a quesabirria ramen. So the choices are up to you, but we're going to make it together. I'm going to share with you how I do it. We're going to go through the process, and I think it's going to be really good. So I thought today would be a fun day to kind of hang out in the kitchen together and enjoy this day of Vlogmas. It is a chilly, rainy day here. Not so much snow for us here in Chicago just yet. We snowed on Halloween and we haven't seen it. And we got flurries here and there, but it's been pretty decently.
No, it snowed like 2 days ago.
Yeah, but it was like flurries, and then but today.
We haven't got heavy snow yet.
Yeah, so and it's been like warm, so it's weird.
Chicago winter yet.
No, it's not here yet. But anyways, let's cook. I'll share with you everything we're doing. I think it'll be fun. Let's spend the day together in the kitchen. This is going to be the meat that we are using. This is just a boneless chuck pot roast. I don't know. You just need some kind of chuck roast that'll be able to cook down. So this one is, I got 2 pieces. It's about 5 pounds. And one is a fattier cut, so you can see a little bit more meat or a little bit more fat, and the other one has a little bit more meat. So we're gonna throw this in a pot with a onion. I'm just gonna cut it in half, and I'll show you, and a whole head of garlic, and I'm just gonna cut off the head of it, and we're gonna let this boil for, I'm gonna say, at least 2 hours. So this is gonna be kind of a slow and low process. If you wanted to do this in the crock pot, you could. You could also do this in the Instapot if you wanted as well, but I'm just gonna do mine stovetop. But if I was doing this in the crock pot, I would just throw everything in there. So I would throw the meat, and I would make my sauce and then cook everything in the sauce and cook it on 8 hours and just walk away. So be quicker that way, but we're gonna take it old school and do the long way. Here is our pot. Now, this is just my big old soup pot. I keep it downstairs in like my storage room, and I only bring it out when I'm making like soups and stuff. And that's what we're making with. So I have my head of garlic. I just cut off the top and like the bottom. I got a whole onion and then my 2 pieces of meat. And then I'm gonna go in with some sea salt and just salt in the meat. And we're gonna bring this to boil, and then we're gonna let this cook for, like I said, about 2 hours. And then we'll start on our sauce. So it's about noon, so I would say probably around 2 o'clock we will start working on our sauce. So it's one of those things that, you know, maybe it's Sunday, or maybe you got people coming over, you know, for some kind of holiday party, and you're like, hey, what can I make? This is a great option. It's different, it's delicious, and so many people would like it. Now, if you have teenagers, you can do the ramen noodles with it and do like cheese, super trendy. You can look it up all over the internet. You can just do the tacos and just have like a fun like taco night. It's absolutely delicious, and wait till I show you how it all comes together. And like I said, if you wanted to do it as a soup, you could do that as well. So good. So if you have people who are maybe like, hey, I'm not eating carbs or something like that, and they don't want to do tortillas, make the soup and throw the cheese in there. Teenagers with the ramen, or you can just do some plain old tortillas. We have been at it for about 40 minutes, and I wanted to tell you guys, when you are cooking this meat, you see like this fat layer, you're gonna want to skim that off. I just have like a little bowl on the side of the pot that I just kind of go through and I skim off all like this stuff. You don't want this in your soup, this stuff. So I just go through, take a big spoon, and then do one of those. I am like listening to the best music right now. Just having a, you know, one of those good cooking days where like the music's hitting, like, oh, just one of those good feel-good days. Loving it, loving it. So we're gonna let this keep going. And you know, like those good cooking days where you're like, hell yeah, this food's gonna be so freaking good. Like, I can't wait to eat. Like, you're excited. Little chunky dunk self, like, I'm so excited. So excited for this meal. But I love like cooking our like favorite restaurant foods and trying to like recreate them. at home or cooking like their grandmother's favorite recipes and recreating them at home, just because it makes me feel good. I love when my family loves the meals I cook for them. Let me know down below. Are you guys the same way? We are using 3 types of peppers today. We are using the ever popular chili guajillos. These are one of my favorites. I always use these when I make my red sauce, so we're gonna use those. We're gonna use some chili anchos, another one. These 2 together, fire combo. I use these 2 together for tamales, for pozole, for pretty much everything. Like fish soup too, if you do like the shrimp soup or whatever, same thing. Yeah, so I'm gonna take those 2, but I decided to add a little kick to it, and we're gonna do some chili arbos too. I'm only gonna use a couple of those. So I know a lot of people now, this is preference. A lot of people like to take these peppers and they like to like hand sear them and toast them. I just can't do that. I just can't do that. I don't know why. I'm gonna take about 12 of these chili guajillos. So there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12. We'll do 13 for good luck. Some of them are like half ones. For the chili anchos, I'm going to save the rest of these because I'm making tamales in like 2 weeks. So I'm going to use those peppers for that. I'm going to use 2 of those. 2 chili anchos. I'm going to throw them in my pot. I don't know about these chili arbos ones. I'll take like, no honey, I'm only going to take 2. I'm going to take 2 of those. So in my pot, that's what I have. I'm going to fill it with water. I didn't de-seed them or anything like that because it's such a small batch. It's going to be all good. So it's not going to be a whole thing here. Actually, I'm just going to use the other 2. I just feel like this is not enough peppers. So I'm going to add, I lied, it's probably going to be about, yeah. All right, so altogether I ended up adding about 15 chili guajillos, about 5 chili anchos, and 2 chili arbos. I didn't mess with those ones because I don't know how spicy those are. But what I do is I'll take a little plate and I put them on top of the peppers so they stay beneath the water. And I'm just gonna set them to cook on the stovetop on like a medium low, just so they start to simmer and they start to rehydrate. And once they rehydrate, then we'll start cooking with them. And the peppers I have left over, I'm gonna put them in Ziplocs so I can use them when we are making our tamales. But the meat is doing really, really nicely. We are back and it is time. So let me kind of show you really quickly before I do it. Again, if you wanted to toast these peppers, you could do that. I opt to just boil them because that's the way I'm comfortable with it. I know that it'll come out good for me because that's how I know how to make them. But if you know how to toast them or if you want to try toasting them, I was going to try it, but I got scared at the last minute. But let me show you. So usually how I notice is you'll start to smell them. The little plate will rise up. This plate is hot, so be careful. That's why I'm grabbing it. Oh shit. Okay, so how I know, you guys, these are the chili anchos. These are the ones that were super dry and like shriveled up. They're big and fat and soft. Oh God, I wish I could just add a little bit of hydration to my skin and all my wrinkles would release this way. Jeez. Anyways, yeah, so that's how you know they're done. Basically, I'm just going to take all of these peppers and with stems and everything. So I'll probably try to remove the stems, to be honest. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. And I'm going to throw them in my blender and blend them up with some seasoning. But let me get these over there real quick and I'll show you guys. This doesn't look like much, but remember they are whole and not grounded up. So we have 8 peppercorns and 5 whole cloves, okay? So I know it doesn't look like much, but again, they're whole and everything. So we're gonna add them to our mixer, okay? But we're also going to take out this from over here. We're gonna remove the head of garlic. couple of them escaped. And the onion. So yeah, we're gonna take the whole onion from the pot, which is good because it's gonna have all the flavorings and stuff from the meat. So throw that in there. The garlic, again, that garlic is going to be super duper good. It's been cooking for a couple hours in there. Yum. So just to go over it quickly, we have basically all those peppers that we rehydrated. I seen this in a video the other day and I was like, oh my God, what did you do that for? Never throw out the broth that you cook or you like rehydrate your peppers in. That broth is going to be used again. It has a lot of flavor. Don't get rid of it, okay? Trust me. I promise, do not get rid of it. So I filled up about halfway with the water from there, all of the peppers, the head of garlic, the whole onion, the 5 whole cloves and 8 peppercorns. That's all in there, okay? I'm gonna blend that up and then we don't forget, we're doñas, right? So we strain it. We strain it, but here is our sauce. Then we have the strainer that just sits over the pan and you are just going to slowly pour it in. Okay, slowly pour it in. You might have to do it in a couple things. I'm only doing this one-handed right now because of the camera. And then what I do is I'll always take like a flat spoon and I kind of move it around so it like kind of goes through, skims through, whatever you call it, the actual strainer, and it catches all like the pulp and the seeds of the peppers. And what I also do is when I notice it starts to get too thick and it's straining real slow, I will take some of that hot pepper water that we have right next to us and I'll add that in and it helps thin it up. Now I know that this is a little tedious. I understand that. And I know people will say if you have a high efficiency blender, you don't have to do this. I guess I don't have one, but I sure did pay $100 for that Ninja blender. It was like a set or something, but that should be high efficiency for me, but I do know that there's like super duper expensive ones, but yeah, if you don't have to, you don't have to. But if your blender is leaving the chunks, you strain them because it will ruin your meal. I tell you guys this all the time, and my mom is the one that tries to skip this step, and you're like, I remember eating it, and because that skin is hard and it's flaky, and it's just kind of annoying. I mean, it doesn't like make it taste bad or anything. It's just the texture, you know? So anyways, I'm just gonna go through and keep kind of straining out my sauce. Again, guys, I tell you this all the time about this sauce, but this sauce is literally a staple if you are like trying your hand at maybe making some more, I don't know, elaborate dishes. Pozole, which is like a beef stew or beef soup, I guess. Tamales, like if you're gonna make like the red tamales, this is the sauce that you would use. I did a recipe before with a green salsa. You can use that green salsa to make tamales too, like a chicken tamale if you wanted, or like a green pork tamale. But I'm also going to be making tamales this year, so I'll show you guys. But I've done a tamale video recently too, so if you guys want to check that out. But again, this is a very good staple sauce to have. Sometimes, like when I'll like Leo's home or whatever, I'll make a big batch of it and I'll freeze the other half, so then I don't have to kind of go through and remake it. But I didn't do that today. I just made a small batch because I didn't feel like it, and I'm cooking quite a few things today, and I just didn't feel like doing that today. I felt like really enjoying my cooking and not trying to make a chore out of it. And that is all of the seed and everything that I was able to skim out with using that, and that would have been all in our food. So, and you could see it, like all the texture, it's not what's up. So definitely take that extra step. That is what I forgot to tell you guys. I did throw about 4 bay leaves into here. So the meat is looking really good. We're gonna like let it cook for probably about another hour or two until the meat starts to shred up and like just fall apart, and that's when we know we're done. But we're not done seasoning yet. So we have the good flavor, right, from the peppers and the peppercorns and the garlic and all that stuff. So it already smells really good, but we're gonna add some extra. I already have the seasoning in here. I am gonna leave I'm gonna type everything out that I use down below, but in here I have 2 teaspoons of oregano, 1 teaspoon of thyme, 1 tablespoon of cumin, and 3 tablespoons of beef bouillon. I could add more beef bouillon, but I'm gonna start out with 3 and see where I go. I'm not really used to working with beef bouillon. I only ever really use chicken bouillon, so I don't know how salty it is. That's why I've started out with 3. And for every recipe I see, they are like 5 or 6, and I might add that much. I just don't know how this is gonna taste. I don't want it to be too salty, right? I mean, it's probably not gonna be too salty, but I'm always afraid. I've overdid it on chicken bouillon before, and I had to throw out a whole meal. So ever since then, I've always been super light-handed with it. So I'm just going to toss all the seasoning in there. I'm gonna stir it up, and then I'm gonna let it kind of cook and marry with all the flavors, and I'll probably try it out. So I'm gonna let it cook down, do its thing here, and then probably wait like maybe 20 minutes or so and give it a try and see if I have to add any more. I just, like I said, wanna go easy on the seasoning because I don't wanna overdo it. I don't wanna ruin it, so. I just pulled out the first chunk of roast and just shredded it up with my fork. Sorry, you guys can see it's hot, but good Lord, I feel like the whole time this video I'm just fogging the camera up. There we go. But that is what you kind of want it to look like, nice and shredded. I'm gonna do the other piece, but it's coming along really nicely, and it's about 3 hours. So Leo said usually for these types of roasts, they are very tough, so you do want to cook them for quite a while. So give yourself some time if you are going to make this, and if you have people coming over at 3, I would probably start this at like 10:30, 11, just to be on the safe side. Just say it again. Oh no. Oh, okay. No, it's okay. So, but yeah, look at that. So we got Leo working. We're getting them together. So what I think works better, I think it depends on what you're saying, who you're watching. But a lot of people aren't warming up their tortillas. They're just dipping them and putting them in the pan, and they're falling apart. So we decided to warm them up first, and then we're gonna dip them into the sauce. So that way they don't it's freaking good, guys. This meat is so good. I did want to tell you, I did add a grand total of 6 tablespoons of beef bouillon to it, but I just kept tasting it to see how it was, and I added about a half a teaspoon more of cumin, and it's absolutely perfect. All right, into the sauce. Into the sauce. Oh, Jesus. And then we're gonna add some quesadilla cheese. It's just Chihuahua cheese, melting cheese, whatever. You can do mozzarella. I really wanted to do the Oaxaca cheese, but they didn't have any for a good price. And then we're gonna add the meat. Just a little bit. You don't want to make them like super big.
Yeah, that was a little bit much.
This I feel like is the most tedious part about making these, I'm not gonna lie. Where you can't just serve them up, you kind of have to do all this like toasting part, but I really think it's worth it. And then I think you gotta ladle some sauce, no?
Probably should be using a spatula.
Oh yeah, probably. All right, here are the tacos, and then here is the little cup of consommé, just like a little dip, like the soup. Again, remember, if you wanted to do this just in like a soup form, you could do that. You could do these with the ramen noodles and do like Quesabirria ramen. It's very popular, or you can do it this way. It's a little tricky. This is a little time consuming doing it this way, but it is what it is. It's very, very good. And like I said, this is one of my favorite meals to have. So I like to serve mine with raw onion and cilantro and lime. And then I will just squeeze the lime over it. But I also put lime, cilantro, and onion in the consommé. And let me show you how it goes down, okay? You take your stuff right here, okay? You take your tortilla or your taco, you dip. Oh, it's so good. This is probably, you guys probably are like, Danielle, that's how you get down? That's how I'm getting down. You got to dip in there. So if you guys were interested, I will leave a recipe down below. But I'm telling you, I can say that I am a pro. I feel like I have a very exclusive palate for Quesabirria tacos. And these are hitting the spots. So, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being on the Vlogmas with me. And thanks for hanging out with me on my favorite meal, Quesabirria. If you guys like it, let me know. If you guys make it, tag me. And that's it, my friends, right there. Right there.